Thank you for listening to Depictions Media Radio.
J'aimerais commencer par faire une mise à jour à propos des vaccins. A few weeks ago, I talked with the global CEO of Pfizer, Dr. Albert Bourla. Between that conversation and the excellent work done by Minister Anand, we have some updates to share today. We've received an updated delivery schedule from Pfizer that brings us to the end of March, and we can confirm we will be receiving the 4 million doses we've been committed to since last November from Pfizer by the end of that month. We will share this schedule with provinces and territories so they can prepare to get all those doses into people's arms. For the months following from Pfizer, we'll be getting the next doses sooner. We've brought forward millions of doses into Q2, so that we will receive 10.8 million doses of Pfizer between April and June, and all of our remaining doses of Pfizer in Q3 before the end of September. That is, we will have received 40 million doses from Pfizer by the end of September. That's part of the reason why we can say with such confidence that everyone who wants a vaccine in Canada will get one by the end of September. We've been continuing to work every single day on getting as many doses as possible, as quickly as possible, into Canadians' arms. On top of this news on Pfizer, I can also share today that we've purchased 4 million additional doses of the Moderna vaccine, which will be arriving over the summer. On a eu une mise à jour concernant les livraisons de Pfizer. C'est confirmé qu'on va recevoir les 4 millions de doses d'ici la fin mars. On va partager l'horaire avec les provinces et les territoires pour qu'ils puissent se préparer. Et pour le printemps, le Canada va recevoir des doses du vaccin de Pfizer plus tôt que prévu. Un total de 10,8 millions de doses entre avril et juin, et le reste des doses qui arrivera au 3e trimestre. Et en comptant Pfizer seulement, on va recevoir 40 millions de doses au total d'ici la fin septembre. Chaque dose de vaccin contribue à protéger les gens qu'on aime et à nous aider à traverser la crise. Je sais que vous vous demandez quand est-ce que vos doses s'en viennent. Bien, les choses s'avancent et vos vaccins s'en viennent. Aujourd'hui, je peux également annoncer qu'on a acheté 4 millions de doses supplémentaires du vaccin de Moderna. Ces doses, qui arriveront au cours de l'été, s'ajoutent aux 40 millions de doses qu'on prévoit recevoir de Moderna cette année. Au total, le Canada disposera de 84 millions de doses des 2 vaccins présentement approuvés d'ici la fin septembre. Alors, toute dose de AstraZeneca ou de Johnson & Johnson ou d'autres qui pourraient être approuvées dans les mois à venir seraient en plus de tout ça. Mais ces 84 millions de doses confirmées par les 2 vaccins approuvés avant la fin septembre, c'est pourquoi on peut dire avec tant de confiance que tout le monde qui veut se faire vacciner ici au Canada le sera avant la fin septembre. Just like vaccines, I know that border measures are also on a lot of people's minds. Recently, I had a great chat with Annette from Ottawa. She had written to me about people vacationing abroad and, as she put it, ignoring rules that had been in place for quite some time. Annette, today I want to tell you what else we're going to be doing about this. On a déjà travaillé avec les principaux transporteurs aériens au pays pour suspendre leurs services vers les destinations soleil. Je veux, une fois de plus, les remercier pour leur leadership dans ce dossier. Comme je l'ai déjà dit, on va être là pour eux et leurs travailleurs afin que les voyages internationaux puissent reprendre en toute sécurité dès que les conditions s'améliorent. In addition to suspending flights to sun destinations, international flights are now arriving at only 4 major Canadian airports. And no matter the flight, everyone must have proof of a negative PCR test taken within 72 hours of boarding. Starting today, People returning by land borders will also need to show proof of a negative PCR test taken within 72 hours before arrival. And all returning travelers must quarantine for 14 days after coming home or risk heavy fines and possible jail time. These are some of the strongest measures in the world. But with new variants emerging, we're stepping them up even further. Later today, Ministers Hajdu, Blair and LeBlanc will announce the details of new testing, quarantine and enforcement for everyone flying or driving back to Canada. These measures will take effect starting February 22nd. Putting these additional measures in place is a true team effort. To Canadian Airlines and border agents, thank you. To public health employees, to hotel workers and owners, thank you for all the work you're doing and for doing your part. On a déjà mis en place certaines des mesures frontalières les plus strictes au monde. Et avec la présence de nouveaux variants, des mesures plus strictes s'imposent. Plus tard aujourd'hui, les ministres Hajdu, Blair et LeBlanc vont vous fournir plus de renseignements sur des nouvelles mesures de dépistage et de quarantaine visant les gens qui rentrent au Canada par avion ou en voiture. Ces mesures entreront en vigueur le 22 février. Le but de ces mesures, c'est d'assurer la sécurité des gens. Bien évidemment, il y aura des exceptions pour les déplacements essentiels, notamment pour les camionneurs et les travailleurs de la santé. Pour le reste, les gens ne devraient tout simplement pas voyager. On ne laissera pas les décisions irresponsables de quelques-uns mettre la vie de tous en danger. On va faire tout ce qu'on peut pour protéger les gens et pour maîtriser ce virus. These border measures will help stop the spread of COVID-19 and new variants. And that's not all we're doing on that front. We're also investing $53 million for an integrated variants of concern strategy to help monitor variants like the ones first detected in the UK and South Africa. You might be worried about these new strains. Well, we're putting our best experts on it. Researchers, epidemiologists, modelers. With investments like this, Canada is ready to detect, track, and treat new cases. I know you're probably watching the news these days attentively, as everyone is, and watching the positive sign of the cases going down across the country. That is a good step in the right direction, but we also know at the same time the new variants that are more communicable, more easily transmitted, are increasingly out there. So we need to stay careful. You are doing a great job, making the sacrifices necessary that have shown us on the right track. But we're going to need to stay vigilant. We're going to need to be careful if we're going to make it through this spring in the best possible way to be able to enjoy a better future for all. Because nobody wants a third wave to start, particularly not one comprised of new, more communicable variants that can cause real challenges. Today, I also want to talk about what we're doing to support everyone, no matter who you are, during this global crisis. In the last year, we've seen once again how tough times fall first and hardest on the most vulnerable. The legacy of this pandemic must not be some people getting ahead while others fall behind. Instead, it must be a stronger, fairer Canada for everyone, and that includes for women and girls. Already, we've invested in everything from safe places for women and girls to stay to moving forward on an action plan for women in the economy. And we're not stopping there. As Minister Monsef announced yesterday, we're launching Feminist Response and Recovery Funding. This will support organizations that work to end violence against women and girls, that invest in their economic security, and that empower women leaders. Personne ne devrait avoir à affronter cette crise tout seul. On a déjà investi dans des mesures de soutien pour les personnes qui travaillent dans certaines des industries les plus durement touchées, comme celle du voyage et des arts de la scène. En septembre, on a annoncé le lancement d'un fonds d'indemnisation pour les plateaux de tournage en cette période de pandémie. Depuis sa mise en place, ce sont des milliers d'emplois qui ont été conservés dans les industries du cinéma et du petit écran. Et cette semaine, le ministre Guilbeault a annoncé que le fonds sera prolongé jusqu'à l'année prochaine, soit le 31 mars 2022. Peu importe qui vous êtes, on va vous apporter le soutien dont vous avez besoin. C'est pour ça qu'on a lancé la PCU en mars dernier. C'est pourquoi on a créé la prestation canadienne de la relance économique et prolongé la subvention salariale. On est prêt à vous fournir le soutien nécessaire aussi longtemps qu'il le faudra. Better days are ahead of us. On that note, I want to end this morning by wishing everyone a happy Lunar New Year, particularly to those from East Asian communities. The Year of the Ox is particularly apropos for this particular time we're in, as it's about hard work, perseverance, and trustworthiness. I think that's exactly what's going to get us through the coming months. Instead of lion dances and fireworks, this year you might be celebrating by delivering PPE to frontline workers or dropping off groceries to elderly neighbors. Every day, you remind us that diversity is our strength, and it's something that we will always defend. There's no place in this country for hate or racism. We will always stand against anti-Asian racism and against all forms of racism and discrimination. We are stronger together today and always. Bon nouvel an lunaire tout le monde. Kamun, Sheshe, Kamsahamnida.
This show has been produced by Depictions Media. Please contact us at depictions.media for more information.